Hey there. Automation is the backbone of almost any great successful marketing campaign. You can't just keep on following simple steps all day long. You need some sort of automation in your process. Today we are going to tell you how you can set up an automation which reaches out to a prospect if they are unhappy and gives them a review form to fill up in case they are happy. Now, in order to set up an automation inside HubSpot where we send a review to a customer who's happy with our product, and then we send maybe a feedback form to a customer who's unhappy with our offering, then that is something which can easily be done via workflows. So in order to access workflows inside HubSpot, firstly click on automations. This is the new HubSpot navigation. So this is what it looks like. Then you click on workflows. Once you are in here, you click on create workflow on the right. You create a workflow from scratch. Now this is going to be a contact based workflow and we want this to be a blank workflow initially. Then click on next. Now that your workflow has started, we need to set up triggers inside this workflow that we can determine how the whole process will go along. And before we get started with our workflow, there are other options as well. For example, there is the settings and notifications. So which time do you want your workflow to execute? So I would want that it is executed at specific times. Maybe I want this to only work on Monday to Friday during working hours. So that's something. You can also add this to a marketing campaign. Click on save once you have selected appropriate options. And apart from that, there are goals as well. What is the goal for your workflow? You can set up goal conversion rate as well. Inside here, you can set up a goal. For example, you can set up a goal according to contact properties. Maybe these number of metrics are reached inside the workflow, then this workflow is meeting our specific goal. So that is something which is possible over here. Apart from that, there are other things like changes, wherein you can see that how the changes were done to the workflow in the time which just passed away. So apart from all of this, we click on actions. And now let's set up some triggers. So firstly, what we would want is that in order to enroll people inside our workflow, we need to know what kind of property are we going to segregate them on. So what we are going to use is something called as NPS score or NPS survey rating, which lets us know whether person is happy with our product or offering or not. So we set up the trigger. This is a filter criteria based trigger. So here, when we click on the trigger, we select the object which is contact properties. Here we search for NPS. So if the NPS survey rating is known, then maybe we start this workflow. Otherwise, we don't start this workflow. So we click on save. That is the first trigger for starting this workflow, that the last NPS survey rating is known. Then contacts are enrolled in this workflow. Otherwise, they won't enroll in this workflow. Now, the next thing that we do is set up a delay. Now, you might ask why? Why do we need a delay in here? But we do need a delay of maybe something like 5 minutes or something. Now, this is because sometimes there are network issues. Sometimes the mail takes a little bit of time to pass through. Sometimes there are latency issues. So we just want to ensure that all of those things do not break our whole process. So we add a small delay of 5 minutes. Now, once the delay has been set up, now what we need to do is check whether the people are active or inactive. How long ago did they fill our last survey form? So we click on the plus icon and then create a new branch. Here, based on matching filter criteria, we segregate people into active people, and then if none of the criteria are met, we call them as inactive people. The filter that we are going to use is in the contact properties, search for last NPS survey date. So if the last NPS survey date is less than 90 days ago, that means that the person was active in our system, and that is something that we are using in order to segregate people. So this is good. Now click on save, and now we have branches where we have active people and inactive people. Now, if the people are active, now we are going to segregate these active people into happy people and unhappy people. So how we are going to do that? We are going to do that on the basis of NPS score. Finally, now we click on the plus icon in the active people, and then we click on branch. Here, based on matching filter criteria, we sort these people into happy people, and then if none of the criteria are met, then they are unhappy people. And for the happy people, we add a filter of contact properties and search for NPS rating. If the last survey rating is something like 7, 8, 9, or 10, then it means that those people are happy. Otherwise, these people are unhappy people. So that is how we are going to enroll all of these people. Click on save, and now we have happy people and unhappy people. So for the happy people, we are going to send them a mail with a review form. And for the unhappy people, we are going to just reach out to them and ask them what can we do better for them. So for happy people, we click on the plus icon, click on communications, and then we are going to send them a mail with our mail. Choose an email. So we have created something like a good mail for thanks for loving our services. So this mail would have a lot of other details. For example, we have written everything that we want to communicate to the people who are happy with our services. And apart from that, we have also included link to a review form which they can fill, and we click on save. And the happy people will get an email, thanks for loving our services. The unhappy people will also get a mail from us, and they will get an email which we have already created, unhappy people, wherein we will ask them how we can improve better, maybe make it a little bit more empathetic, a little bit more better, ask them how can we improve. Then once you have set a mail like that, click on save, and this is how you now have a fully working automation which will allow you to manage these people nicely, these people who are maybe unhappy with your services, happy with your services. This is how, using workflows inside HubSpot, you can manage all of this with ease. Now finally, when you're done with all of this, click on review and publish, and your job will be done. So there are also other options. For example, only enroll contacts who meet the trigger criteria after turning the workflow on. You can also enroll existing contacts who meet the trigger criteria as of now, and there are also other options over here as well, and a lot of other options. And then finally, you can turn on this workflow, maybe rename this workflow properly, and when all of this is done, your workflow is on and everything is running just fine. So guys, I hope this was crystal clear. In case you are still running into any sort of issues, feel free to reach out to us. And if you want to build some sort of custom automations inside your own HubSpot project, then reach out to us via the QR code on the screen in front of you, or via the link in the pinned comment below, and we'll be more than happy to assist you. We at CT9 are always hard at work, and we hope that your projects are also a big success. I'll see you guys soon in the next video.